Good morning, everyone. My name is Vivek Shankran. I'm President and CEO of the Albertsons companies. And good morning to the Idaho Technology Council. I'm delighted to be joining you. I wish I was there in person with you, but it's a sign of the times. Speaking of innovation, this is how we communicate. And we've innovated so much this year on how we communicate, but I'm sure we're losing a little bit of the human touch. I hope to be there the next time to say hi to Andy and meet some of you. Andy asked me to speak about innovation at Albertsons and in our industry. And so I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour on that. But I want to start with describing a little bit about the Albertsons companies. You know us as the Albertsons banner in Idaho, but we are 2,252 stores across the country. If you're in Boston, you'll know us as Shaw's and Star Market, in Chicago as Jewel Osco, in Dallas as Tom Thumb, Houston as Randall's, and Safeway in the western half of America, and of course, Albertsons. We are a number of different stores, but we pride ourselves in our ability to provide great, fresh product. That's what anchors us. And then allowing you to complete the shop in our store. But we also pride ourselves about being really locally great. And I don't mean that just from an assortment standpoint and giving people what they want in those particular markets, but also being good stewards of the community. If there's anything I'm so proud of about our company, it's what we do every day on an everyday basis to help communities with hunger and education. And we step into a different gear at times of crisis like we've had the last year, both natural disasters and the pandemic. That's who we are. We're good stewards of the community. I was lucky enough to inherit a company 2 years ago. I come up on 2 years in this role in May. That has plenty of innovation. I call it the small I innovation. It's the innovation that's democratized. Everybody does it in our stores. And I'll tell you where to look for it. When you go into our stores around a Bronco game, go to the bakery and see what the baker is doing. And you'll probably find some fun stuff around the Broncos. On Valentine's Day, it's different. On July 4th, it's different. At the Memorial Day, it's different. We have a program in our stores called the Cut Fruit Program. So the cut fruit you pick in our store is made in our store. And that was an innovation that came up in the stores. In the past, those things were made somewhere else and shipped to a store. And we actually found that the math is better. It's a fresher product, you sell more, and you actually make the right quantities when you make it in a store. It's the small I innovation. You can see it in our florists. Our florists are coming up with, are getting the best flowers they can, but coming up with different ideas to get people to buy more and to create a different ambiance in the store. So there's a lot of this, what I call small I innovation. That is necessary, but not sufficient in my opinion. And for you to understand that, I've got to give you a little bit about the context of what's happening in our industry. It used to be for decades that the way retail worked, especially in the world of grocery, that we developed a store format, and we developed a store format in a way that we wanted to control how you shopped it. So the grocery stores were the beginning, then came the mass merchandisers like Walmart, then came the dollar channels, then grocery stores reinvented them. But the mindset of the store and a retailer was always build a store and help make sure that it's configured in a way to kind of guide the customer and how they should shop it. And that worked for a long time, except for the last 5 to 10 years, when customers have said, I want to shop the store the way I want to shop it, when I want to shop it, where I want to shop it, and maybe I don't even want to come to your store. So the whole business model in retail has been flipped on its head. Instead of we guiding you, you're guiding us. And if you thought about it for a second, that's an incredible change in how we have to rethink our business. And that's what all of us are going through. It's a monumental shift. And at the Albertsons companies, we have accepted this challenge. There's no debating it. We want to be winners and leaders in accepting this challenge. So now when I think of innovation, I think of the big I innovation. It's the kind of innovation that a leader like me should enable. There are many dead ends in innovation. for some, and I should enable the organization, give them the permission to keep trying it, because if it's worth it at the end, it's worth trying and innovating around. And so the way we frame this is we think of corridors along which we want innovation. And then we get people to generate ideas around it. What do I mean by corridors? The first big corridor is customer experience. It is the most important corridor. And we think of easy, exciting, and friendly. And easy is a corridor. What's an example of easy? Self-checkout, touchless pay, drive up and go, pull up into a parking lot and bring it to your car. Personalized deals so that you get the deals that really matter to you and nobody else, right? So that it makes things easy for you when you shop. One-touch fuel pay. We're experimenting in stores where you can just scan with your phone your products and put it in your bag and leave. So it's innovation and there's no end to this. We're excited because technology is enabling more and more innovation. The second corridor is exciting. If you've been to a Broadway store or a Meridian store, that is an example of making things exciting. So even though you may not want to come to the store, you do want to go to this store because it's just a little more going on. It's hedonism. We want you to smell things. We want you to taste things. We want you to get hungry. There's innovation in the format. And so that's another type of innovation, making things exciting. Great merchandise, great product. The notion of friendly is all about the human touch in the store. It's the human touch at the curbside. But friendly is also a friendly application, friendly interface on your phone. And that's another corridor where we keep innovating all the time. The nice thing about these areas is it's never going to end. I tell my team there's no finish line to the innovation on this, on customer experience. A second big corridor for us is productivity. And technology plays a big role here. It's automation in our distribution centers. It is using technology to order things, to make it better. And it's using technology to order fresh, which is different from the rest of the store. And there too, it's about adapting and bringing the best of technologies that are available in different parts of the world so that we can drive better operations within our company. And a third area of innovate corridor that we think a lot about is just human capital. So how to govern. During this pandemic, we had to rapidly change how we ran the business, right? It could not be, quote, center-led. It would have been a disaster if I was directing things from here because it's just impossible. So you learn how to govern differently. And there's innovation from that. The way we are conducting these meetings is innovation. And I think we've had more focus on this in the last year, in my mind, than I've had in my career over the last maybe 5-10 years. And part of that human capital innovation is also diversity and inclusion, right? Making sure that we bring the breadth of skills, capabilities, perspectives, ideas, and that requires innovation in how we talk about it, how we recruit people, how we promote people, how we measure ourselves against it. And there's a whole new corridor of innovation in human capital. I thought I'd close with a few principles that I've learned in innovation, and it is just my experience, and hopefully it's useful to you. First, innovations must solve a problem. If they don't, it'll be a fun ride, but to nowhere. And so I would say, make sure you have clarity on a big problem you're trying to solve, and if it's worth it, keep at it. The ones that are really worth solving will take some time. And so just have the courage to stick with it. But that goes back to you as a leadership team, just making sure you know the problem itself is worth solving. I think teams are better than individuals. The best success I've had is putting small teams together, giving them a very defined problem to solve, giving them a limited window of time, and frankly, limited resources. And you find people doing things that are breakthrough. Look for ideas outside. I have no pride in authorship on innovation. The best ideas are the sum of different ideas that come from the outside. Technology is your friend in innovation. What technology does, in my opinion, is it breaks the tyranny of the or. It used to be you can either have plenty of product or you can have, or you'll have out of stock. Well, you can have both. You can have enough product and less out of stocks because you have technology that can help you order something better. And so the technology breaks the tyranny of the or. And I'll go back to what I started. Don't lose sight of the problem you're trying to solve and stick with it. Well, thanks for the time. I hope you find this useful, and good luck in the rest of the meeting and the conference. Take care. All the best.